the perfect time for graduate students to figure themselves out. And by that I mean just your schedule. What works for you? Sorry, this tea is just so good. Hi, welcome to Tea Time with Letitia, and it's the very first video. So I'm going to use this video to just explain to you all what Tea Time with Letitia is and how it's going to go. And so, of course, it's called Tea Time with Letitia, so there will be tea. We're going to introduce different teas to you all, in which this tea that I'm drinking today is Hibiscus Spice, and it's by Tivana. Shout out to my old roommate for leaving some teas. I really do enjoy the hibiscus tea, and I'm going to give you a couple of little tips about hibiscus tea with eliminating and removing some of those harmful compounds that are found within our bodies. Looking up some stuff online, it also says that it's good for liver health. Not really sure about that, I don't know, but it's what it says online. Something that I found interesting that it said it's really good for is helping to ease cramps. So next time I am having some cramps, I'll drink some hibiscus tea and I'll let you guys know if it really does help with that. But yeah, getting back to the topic. So this series is meant to be conversations of me with other graduate students and just talking about different aspects of their lives and how their university has supported them or how their university has hindered them, and just what could the university have done better to help them throughout the different parts of their life and what they wanted to do. So that looks like me talking to some people in graduate school who have started businesses, people who have transitioned straight from undergrad to graduate school, people who took a break and are now trying to go back to graduate school. So a variety of topics, plus any of those that you guys want to hear. So if you all have anything, any specific topics you would like, please comment and leave it in the comment box, and I will see if I have someone within my friend circle or someone within my friend's friend circle who can speak to the different topics that you all would like to hear. So today's video, you get me. There will be a couple of videos where maybe it'll just be me talking, but for the most part, I do want to have a different voice, a different graduate student voice to speak to different things that are going on. The videos will be about 20-25 minutes long, max. I do want to keep them a bit short, so if someone has a lot of good stuff to say, then maybe I might break it up into 2 videos. Not too sure yet. We're still in the process of forming and developing these things. And essentially, the reason why we're drinking tea, actually, this is a little quick side tangent. When I started grad school, I wasn't really big on coffee. I'd never really liked the flavor of coffee. It wasn't my big thing. Sorry, this tea is just so good. But it wasn't my big thing. And I was starting to get into tea drinking at the end of my undergrad. And so when I came to grad school and I told people that I wasn't a coffee drinker, everyone, well, not everyone, but 9 out of 10 people said, oh, you'll be drinking coffee by the end of your first year. And I was like, I don't think so. And they were just like, we'll see. And well, look at that, 4 years in, and I still got my tea. Love it. And also, in this drinking tea process, I do want to say that the mug that you use is important. Like, people don't look at the mug as something that is of value, but it really does add to the tea drinking experience. Like, imagine if you just had a plain mug that didn't make you happy versus this mug, where it was actually given to me by my father and my stepmother. And it says, I don't know if you guys can read this, but we create tomorrow by what we dream today. It also says the same thing on this side. But I have a couple of mugs with different symbols and sayings on it, and it just makes my tea drinking experience so much better. So, and I guess you could also use these for coffee, not to completely down out the coffee drinkers. You can do this as well. But the duration during the talks that I have with the different guests will be we'll be drinking tea. And once we finish our tea, hopefully we'll be coming to the wrap up of our conversations. Normally there'd be someone else to fill my drinking time with their talking. But since it's just me today, this is what we have. That's okay though. So what I want to talk about today, getting into the topic of conversation, is COVID-19, aka Corona, aka the Rona. I wonder how many other names are going to come up for this. I'm not going to use any of the names that our current president has called this virus, but it has changed a lot about how we live in society right now. It has impacted us economically. It has impacted us socially. It has really just put a halt to the entire world. And as devastating as it has been in some areas, I am really amazed to be living through this and knowing that 10, 15 years from now, this will be in the history books. I am just amazed. I am faring very well through this. I will say that the changes that have occurred in academia alone have been just complete 360 from what it was. I think that in spite of all of the hurtful things that have come out of this virus, meaning, you know, the loss of jobs, the lack of traveling. I personally may be missing my cousin's wedding. Not sure if she's still having it, but it's impacted a lot socially. And in spite of all of that, I will still say that this has been a very opportunistic time period. It's forcing us to utilize technology that we've had for years that we haven't really used. And by that I mean applications such as Zoom. That's a video conference, video chat that's essentially used by businesses. Specifically, my university, my department has really been utilizing Zoom with the past week, honestly, because all of this has just started within the week. But we've really started to utilize Zoom, and I've had meetings with my PI, my principal investigator, for those who are unfamiliar, but she's my research advisor, via Zoom. And honestly, it's been pretty comparable to face-to-face meetings. Now, I must say there are benefits to having face-to-face meetings. Like, there are interactions and energy that you can't completely feel through a camera, but Zoom is a good place to start. I know Skype is also a thing. I'm not sure if people are still using Skype or not. I was talking to one of my friends, and he had mentioned using Skype, and I was like, come to the times. Everyone's using Zoom now. But I'm pretty sure Skype is still something that's being utilized. I would also like to say that this is the perfect time for graduate students to figure themselves out. And by that, I mean just your schedule. What works for you, meaning what time of the day do you want to get up? What time of the day do you want to be a bit slower, a bit sluggish, versus what time of the day do you want to really hit the ground running and do some experiments, analyze some data? I think that it really gives you the flexibility, because as of right now, everything is in the air. There are no set rules. PIs can't require you to come into lab to work because of the health risk with the virus. And so because nothing is set in stone at this moment, I mean, things are changing literally hour by hour, this is a perfect time for you to really come to understand yourself and your own rhythm and generate or create that natural rhythm of life. I know for me, I have a bit more of a flexible and understanding research advisor. And so I've been doing a bit of experimenting with my productivity for the past couple of weeks now. And for me, I have seen that time blocking and having a power hour has been the most beneficial and helpful thing for me in getting work done. And so in my power hour, I literally have 5-minute sprints, basically, where I get little quick things done that boost up my energy, boost up my morale, and just make me feel like I am productive, I am getting things done before I really sit down and dig into the task of that day. And so what this power hour looks like for me is, when I was going to the lab at least, I would spend 5 minutes organizing my desk for the morning, 5 minutes making my tea for the morning, 5 minutes cleaning my bench space, 5 minutes checking on my worms, and then I would spend 10 minutes to figure out do any last minute lab experiment preparations or preparing any food for my animals, and things like that. And then I'd have 5 minutes of randomness, basically. And I also would have 5 minutes of journaling. I do 5 minutes of journaling every day just to get my basic early morning thoughts out. But essentially, all of those 5 minutes add up to an hour, and that is my power hour. And then I work for a 2-hour block, and that's either I'm doing an experiment or I'm writing. And because I've been working on this flow, my productivity has really gone up. So I do know that if nothing else, I will have 2 to 4 hours a day, because I would then repeat this in the afternoon. So I would have 2 to 4 hours a day where I have gotten stuff done. And I know that within these 2 to 4 hours, I will be productive. And it has been really helpful for me. And so this forced solitude, forced isolation has really helped me to solidify the times of day where I work best being alone, and then where I would like to seek out some interaction or would like to work on something else, something that benefits me or something that brings joy to my day. And I would say that I hope that all other graduate students who get to see this also get the chance to utilize this time for what it is and help them be productive in their careers. Tea Time with Letitia is a segment of Gratified Grad where we discuss topics affecting graduate students. For more information on how you can graduate with gratification, click the link which can be found in the description box. Thanks for listening.